Hello and welcome to my first cast of a league game. So, what's a league game? Well, we've been a few players on the Discord that's been discussing the opportunity to kind of do a league because the ranked play form is kind of not working as intended, I guess, right now. So, there's no real way of mm, like competing on a grand scale against each other when there's no tournament. Of course, you still compete on the 1v1 spectrum in each game, but it's tough to get a sense of where you are compared to others and how they play between each other. So we did this league instead, and I got some help from especially Animorph, so thank you for that. Romad, Crypto, sorry if I forget someone, but everyone's been giving some feedback and inputs to it. So very good or very nice of them, and thanks for that. Yeah, so it's there's all kind of skill levels, new players, older players, and it's gonna be a ton of fun. It already is, I think. I played 6 of my games, and many others have played a, a bit of games, but many more games to go. So it's gonna be really cool to see how this is gonna play out. Yeah, what else is there to say other than each player has to play each other player twice, and you get to choose a seed for one of the games against each player, and then the other player will choose the other seed for the second game. So you kind of get a slight advantage in a way that you can control the seed to some degree. Excuse me. So you can't pick seeds beforehand because there was some discussion that it put unnecessary stress on people that you have the ability to actually practice some of these seeds, and then people will, they want to do their best, so they feel bad if they don't practice or they practice too much and never get to play. So what we did instead is you have to kind of randomize the seed in the lobby with your opponent, but you can choose when you have the advantage what kind of seed you want. Like, do you want a water heavy seed like this, or a gas heavy, or maybe a seed with no gas, lots of land, no trade routes, many trade routes, etc. So a slight advantage in kind of the dynamic of the seed, but you can't pick the exact seed. So yeah, that's I guess that's like the gist of it. Hope that makes sense. And today we're gonna watch a very interesting game, hopefully, between Imphenzia and Plantblock. It's their first game against each other, and it's excuse me, it's Imphenzia. Yeah, Imphenzia picked this seed to play. And small spoiler, if you haven't watched the Plantblock's games, I think he won 3 out of 4 games or so far. Like he's off to a good start, especially because one game that I didn't expect at all. And did this game start? No, it's still paused. Why is it still paused? There you go. Yeah, so huge spoiler here, but Plantblock actually managed to beat Animorph. So that's our first big surprise in the tournament. But of course there will be a few of these, or probably a lot, throughout the tournament, because you have to play each player twice, and so people will mess up or do some incredible plays and somehow beat players that they usually will lose to. So that's gonna be like this is a marathon, I guess, rather than a sprint in tournaments. So in tournaments you so quickly move on to the good players, so to speak. But here you will have to keep playing all types of players throughout the whole league, and you will trip sometimes, and players that maybe are predicted to end in the lower half of the table can maybe do some great games against the top half. So yeah, I'm just yapping now, I guess. So really interesting to see if Plantblock can continue his good start. Imphenzia, I think this is his first game, so that's also quite interesting and so cool that he got to join. Really looking forward to see how each player perform. And I think Plantblock will perhaps go here. Even though it's a bit like closed off, the good thing is it's so centered in the map. But he could also start here and try to rush down Imphenzia, and then suddenly it's Imphenzia that is kind of closed off. But Plantblock do go with this spot. And this is going to be tough, because Plantblock needs to, like, he can't win head on, I would say, because Imphenzia has the easy options to expand and get that extra eco. So if Imphenzia just holds on for quite a while, then he will out eco Plantblock basically. So I think Plantblock's only option here is to dig in, get the money to expand to other islands and build up his eco. But Plantblock actually starts pretty aggressive here. He goes 3 factories, 2 barracks and 1 town. Imphenzia with 2 factories, an airport, a refinery and a barracks. It's gonna be tough, this one, for Plantblock. And I think it's a bit risky to put the town down. I think it would have been better to invest in an airport or a shipyard so he can expand to the other islands. And in that way basically use those as eco buildings as well. But they will also have potential to, of course, be like aggressive buildings with actual fighting units later on. But as a start, a transport boat, a transport jet requires a bit more because you need the commandos as well. But Plantblock does have some nice traits here. 310 in income versus 320. Imphenzia goes for the factory. If that goes down, Plantblock is in a lot of trouble. Don't think it will. Maybe. It's gonna be close. Oh, ouch. It goes down with the last infantry. It's a very good pick off by Imphenzia. Plantblock still has small producers, but Imphenzia got the helis on the way. Imphenzia actually can't see the town. Plantblock cannot see anything of Imphenzia's. But if he gets a few units down here, he will probably spot this. And then he knows there's either navy or or air incoming. Maybe even tanks, I guess it could be. And I think it's the right choice for Plantblock to go and cap some of this and hurt Imphenzia's eco while he increases his own, instead of just running straight into this entrenchment. He does get to spot some of the buildings here, and he spots the airfield, so that's very good for him. Now he can switch into SAMs before he all of a sudden get overwhelmed by a swarm of helis. Though Imphenzia does choose to show off his helis, his plan. We put down a town. Let's see, Plantblock should actually be ahead with eco now. Ah, sorry, it's not done. So they're exactly the same, 340, 340. But this will do 20 in difference for each territory when Plantblock goes to cap Imphenzia's territory. Plantblock tries to do a snipe as well. Would be huge for him to get this airfield. He puts down one of his own. I think you get this. Imphenzia needs to do some haste movement here. It's too late. And that hurts, because that means obviously you lost all your money on this. At least the helis will survive, but you basically also wasted this refinery. So that's 500, and the upkeep will keep costing money. Well, what? Yes, upkeep costs money. So yeah, that was a really nice snipe, and he moves on, try to get the town. That would be huge. I think you should stop sending units backwards when there's so few territories to cap. And I think Plantblock senses that it's all or nothing now. Like, he can actually take out Imphenzia completely. That's my guess, at least, when he goes for more producers rather than expanding. Let's see if he remembers to... Yeah, he does. Nice. And he did remove it from here as well, which I think is a good decision. Don't think he'll get this town though. Plantblock is at 435 now. Imphenzia at 380. Tries to move around with the infantry, but doesn't help too much against helis. It's good against other land units, kind of doing this dance around the buildings. You can actually gain surprisingly lot or extra time shooting at the building that way, rather than just have your units stand and taking the damage. This is very good for Plantblock as well, getting all those territories. Now it comes down to the next step. What to do now? Plantblock actually does go for a expansion here. He's just using commandos instead of boats. And Imphenzia starts to consider expansion. But Plantblock will win the initial race at least. Let's see if he already put down a command. No, he didn't. Can you see the range? Yeah, so you can obviously reach this island, this island. You can reach into the back of Imphenzia's territory. Some tiny islands here, but I don't think they'll come into play. So now we are at a standstill. And probably will be for quite some time. Because whoever pushes will basically like lose in a manner of trading. Plantblock does try to take a sneak peek. See if he can do something. Imphenzia is quick to dig in. And Imphenzia ready with the infantry down here, but Plantblock regrets his decision. And now Imphenzia is trying to recap some of these territories. Plantblock didn't spot this. He's going all the way up here to grab the gas, of course. Otherwise he got this one, but it makes sense to go for the gas right away because he has no gas here. So he needs to get a gas with that initial gas he has. Sorry, I just had to pause there. Imphenzia has a lot of artillery. Which could end up giving him the win here. Just because if he gets that arty block running, it is so tough to do anything about it. Plantblock switched to helis. And if he will probably rely on those helis to like get a good heli swarm and then annihilate those arties. Because this is starting to get to a point where it will get tricky. Like you got so much arty that the infantry cannot even close the space. They can on this small group here. And this might actually turn out really good for Plantblock. So notice how he used haste command to quickly close the space between the artillery and the infantry. So that was I think that was a nice trade for Plantblock. He got at least 4 or 5 artillery, I think. They are both struggling on Nico. They have very low income per minute. And that's also a consequence of the armies kind of just building up here, which caused a lot of upkeep. And I think I don't know, it's always tough to decide whether to go for transport jets or transport boats. But the advantage that Imphenzia has is he can get units across faster, but he can also get many different kind of units across. The advantage of the commandos is that you can do stuff like this. I think he'll take out that gas now. Really nice play from Plantblock. Just as Imphenzia has removed the units left here. Tries to get there with the helis. Immediately puts down another refinery. Another town on the way. And Plantblock at the same time goes for the factories. Gets the refinery. This is really good play by Plantblock. But nice that Imphenzia put down a refinery right away, because he's so vulnerable back here. He has no units and it will take a long time for them to get there. So these two commandos can do whatever they want. Plantblock focuses on the factory so you can take out any potential for Imphenzia to defend himself against future helis. I think Plantblock is playing really well from a tough position here. And Imphenzia only gets one SAM out. And these heli will just go straight for the next factory. And it's starting to look very good for Plantblock. I think he'll get this. Imphenzia is no longer in a advantage on land units. Plantblock builds up his eco. Let's look at the eco. 505 versus 570. So Imphenzia is still ahead on eco. But he chooses to rush in here. It's to, of course, to get the helis. That might be the death of him. I do understand the attempt, but this counter push will completely destroy all of Imphenzia's units. But he needs time to build the SAMs, so in that way I understand it. But it also means he cannot reproduce these units anytime soon, because these are just making SAMs, so he will basically only get infantry to support him. This army is gonna run Imphenzia over. Imphenzia got a lot of money. He just needs to spend them. But maybe he's not completely sure what to do. I guess he could be a bit stunned by the play of Plantblock here. At least he's not really doing anything with all those cash. But I'm not sure what to do, even if he put down... He's putting down stuff somewhere. Okay, all the way back here. Well, he is ahead on eco, but it won't last for long, I think. I don't know if he maybe wants to do some sort of entrenchment here, or if he wants to move units. I don't know where he would move them to. It is a transport boat. And I assume Plantblock feels real confident right now. And now I can move the helis down here. One spot where it's actually going well for Imphenzia. And starting to cap the whole island. Got his reducer down. But then helis will just come and completely destroy these. He puts down another barracks. Fortunately, what he needs is SAMs. I suspect we'll see a resignation from Imphenzia anytime now. Because now that he realizes these helis are already here. And this army will take out both towns and gas. But let's see, what is the plan with these units? I think he's trying to save these 3 infantry. But where to? Does put down a factory. So we can get the SAMs going. But I think it's too late. This is definitely a good choice. Getting those to cap a bit of territory instead of just dying to these units for no reason. He really doesn't want to lose this spot. But it's looking really tough. And these commandos will spot the buildings rather fast, I think. And now the eco will start to turn. 590, 740, it already has. Imphenzia puts down a backup gas, but Plantblock will spot this immediately and he can just take it out. It's just... there's no way Imphenzia can get back. He wants to get that slight eco. Yeah. Plantblock will obviously just kill this right away. Plantblock can see one of the buildings now. Yeah, I don't really think this game is up for any surprises anymore. Where's Imphenzia going up here? But he has no gas. And he has no way of getting any gas. I think we can allow ourselves to speed up the game a bit here. So this was really well played by Plantblock. I'm surprised Imphenzia didn't build any SAMs, because he had a very good amount of artillery and he was dug in. He had the eco advantage, so if he had started to build more SAMs, I think he could have still held the position despite a drop in artillery production. And with the eco, he could start to increase his production both here, but also try to get a hold of this. Now the tricky part was definitely all these helis, because even if he got SAMs here, he would probably lose this. It was just very well played by Plantblock, the drop and the rush. What's it called? Like just maneuvering around the entrenchment and down to the airfield, and then the drop moments later on the gas and on the shipyard, because that shipyard could have helped getting a hold of this. And this is quite funny. That means Imphenzia could have expanded here without any transport boats. And what can we all learn from that? Well, give it a go, at least before you spend money on a shipyard. Though I think a shipyard did make sense anyways, because he, like, having some missile ships would have been worth a lot to help defend this position. Imphenzia tries with everything he knows to somehow get back into the game. 610, 1300. I think it's not gonna happen. Look at Plantblock's money. It's he's just chasing around Imphenzia now. And there came a nuke somewhere. Ah, here. That's just this is to show Imphenzia, hey, you can give up now. Like, I have money enough to just slam down a nuke here. I don't even care anymore. And here comes the landing directly on Imphenzia's now main base, I guess. That's a funny rocket. Plantblock just keeps building eco. Got the subs on the way. Take out any naval presence of Imphenzia, who got a heroic artillery on the way to capture the world, but it will die on this island, alone and confused, when two commandos will kill it without it ever noticing. Ah, oops. He should have built that nuke over here, huh? It's funny if he's gonna nuke this. Needs a bit more gas. There, I heard another rocket. Yeah, right on this island. Imphenzia put down his own subs. Ah, he cancelled the rocket here. Imphenzia manages to get a town. So that's something. Plantblock is now at 1800 income. And Imphenzia at 700. And Plantblock has a bunch of helis. But Imphenzia finally built up his SAM count. And he might not get to fire the rocket. Ah, he will. And he puts down another one. And another one. And Imphenzia doesn't let it explode. Well played by Plantblock and Imphenzia for that matter, but Plantblock just came out on top on that one. Really nice place. Imphenzia got off to a good start with the factory snipe, but then Plantblock just really played every card right from that moment. So congratulations to Plantblock, and I hope to get a lot more interesting matches in the future. So yeah, thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Bye.